Hey, my name is Brittany, and y'all know what I'm thinking about this morning? I'm thinking about the origins of YouTube. I was cleaning out some old documents from my laptop back when I was in school, and I had a social media marketing class, and our assignment was to pick a social media and talk about the origins, talk about how it's utilized, and give an example of someone who was able to market themselves successfully and stuff like that. And it gagged me because this is what I found out. Okay, the app that I chose was YouTube. And imagine instead of you clicking on this video or any other video you're interested in on the platform, and instead of it being that music, that entertainment, that comedy, that TV show or whatever, it's, hey, my name is Brittany, and I'm looking for a partner who fulfills these requirements, and I like to sing and I like to dance and all of those things. Long walks on the beach, like whatever y'all into. And it was that, because that was the intentions for YouTube. YouTube's intent was to be a dating app. And I just sat in silence for at least 30 seconds because I couldn't imagine a world in which YouTube would be a dating app. The founders of YouTube, John Kareem, Steve Chen, and Chad Hurley, they proposed the idea of people getting on the app and making these short videos of like who they are as a person and what they're looking for in a partner, but it didn't do well. And so they started going on Craigslist and offering people $20 to try their platform out, and still people were not doing this. They wasn't feeling it for real. This is what, 2005? Social media wasn't like how it is now back then. If y'all didn't grow up on the internet, if in that stage, because people could say, oh, I grew up on the internet, but y'all didn't grow up on the internet like the older generation did. Not saying I'm the older generation, but I've seen things through the grapevine.
What I mean by that is when I was in school, they made us take literal tests about computer safety, what to do, what not to do, to not share our face, name, home address, or anything like that. And I don't know if they still do that nowadays to make sure that people aren't sharing too much online, but I think they should. It really was serious business back then. It really was stranger danger. And a lot of the oversharing has become normalized, and it's okay in certain contexts, but as well, people, how does that song go? Gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away.
I hope y'all know not to be sharing all y'all's business on social media and stuff. I do hope y'all know that. I be talking a lot, but I don't be sharing my business. And I just wanted to share that because maybe somebody need to hear it. It was a failure in terms of the dating app, so they made it more like, oh, people could just post home videos because that was really popular. And then that's what made the app blow up. And they were like, yes, like, okay, people, there's like thousands and thousands of videos being uploaded. We need more broadband servers. We need connectivity stuff and things like that. Very technological terms that I can't remember off of the top of the noggin. I don't even have my notes in here with me. I probably should, but do not. This part is a little blurry, but I'm just assuming, you know, me mentally filling in the gap. So this is alleged according to my beautiful mind. They was like, we probably can't afford to open up all these broadband servers. We are former PayPal employees. Like, we're making a living, is doing good, but it's doing too good for what we are able to support right now. And so they started entering negotiations with Google, and Google bought them out for so many millions of dollars. Here's the price point. Because of that, it made me think about, you know, the butterfly effect.
Explaining this the best way I can. For those of y'all who don't know or may not know, the butterfly effect is a branch of chaos theory, which examines different aspects of life that are sensitive to the initial conditions of an action happening in the world. So it may talk about the unpredictability that cause, effect, and correlation have amongst each other and how they interact in the world. It's an idea that a small change in the beginning of a thing can lead to bigger changes long term. So I did a little research, and it said that the term butterfly effect is attributed to a meteorologist named Edward Lorenz, And he used this metaphor, or a metaphor, of a butterfly flapping its wings to illustrate the possibility of that occurrence causing a tornado in a different part of the world. And while that may sound wild or crazy to some of y'all, it's very interesting to me because it touches on the idea that something as seemingly natural and insignificant as a butterfly flapping its wings or flying away could lead to much, much larger events.
Imagine a world where YouTube was still that dating app, and the world where like Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, and I don't know, Match.com, Plenty of Fish, whatever people are into, exist as well. Where it's like people make videos of themselves and people see if they like what they see. Honestly, in this day and age, I feel like an app like that could work. But they would have to give you prompts or something like a Bumble type deal, I think. Because people are a lot more comfortable, you know, face to face. But I grew up on YouTube. Like, me and my sister would sit on the computer for hours. This is in the age of like the OG YouTubers, and some of them may be problematic, but like, if y'all know, y'all know. Like, I think about those days and it formed who I was a little bit developmentally. And I remember there were times where me and my friends, because back then I was emo and I was hanging out with the emos and the pop punk kids, the alternatives, and we was all rocking together.
I mentioned that portion of my life because we were all going through very hard times, and we would watch the same YouTubers, the same gaming channels when we come back to school and talk about it and talk about how we're feeling, and we kind of all kept each other alive at the time. So in a way, if YouTube wasn't that outlet, I don't know how different things would be for as how we coped.
And it's like, I understand the butterfly effect as truth, because I know, like, if I would have made a different decision a couple of years ago, I would be a different person and have different experiences and a different life right now. And it reminds me of my favorite episode of Community, because this is the thing with Community, okay? It was interesting, but I wasn't a fan of the series overall, but there were certain episodes and moments that I did like. And at a certain point, it felt like it was dragging on. The episode was essentially, they were all at Jeff and Abed's apartment, I think, and someone needed to go downstairs to get a pizza. And in the show, they called it remedial chaos theory. And Jeff, he took, you know, a die off the table. He was like, okay, I think starting with my left, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. And he's like, okay, whoever the dice lands on is going to have to go downstairs to get the pizza. And so he throws it in the air, and when he does, Abed's like, you know, you created 6 different timelines. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like, I love this idea because it's like real for real. But the show takes us through every single timeline. So like, if Abed was to go downstairs, if Annie was to go downstairs, so forth, so on, so forth. And it changed dramatically every single time. And so I'm kind of glad that YouTube was a failure as a dating app at first, because we wouldn't have, I can't say we wouldn't have what the idea of YouTube is, but it just would not be the same. Like, sure, there could have been like other apps like that could have encompassed the idea and the thrill of, you know, video sharing and like community posts and all that. But I guess we won't ever know, huh? And so it was a blessing in disguise, low key. It's like, okay, you got the right attitude, you got the right mindset, you got the spirit, but it needs to be executed a little bit differently, and then boom, success. And so really, it's a story of really don't give up, because you could have the right idea, it could just be the wrong execution. And maybe, that's all that I really gotta say. I'm getting over a cold. That's why my voice sounds like this. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.